Hi, everyone. My name is Kaitlyn Venta, and I am here today to talk to you about Scholarship Central. So, Scholarship Central is a resource for students to help them find private scholarships and interest free student loans. So, like I said, Scholarship Central is a collaborative scholarship search and application website. We are a convener and a place for students to be able to find additional funding for college. We have opportunities for all different types of students. The majority are for high school seniors, but we do have opportunities for college students and adult learners as well. Students complete a general application and then are matched to scholarships based on their responses. I'll go into more details on how the system actually works, but that's our basic premise. This year, we had over 130 scholarships and interest-free loan programs for students from Missouri. So it really is a great resource for students to be able to find scholarships for college. Most importantly, though, it is free and it is easy to use. Scholarship Central is completely free for students, and we will not sell their information. And our hope is that it is easy for them to use. Everything is in one place, and it's all online, which is where we know students are. So this image hopefully gives you an idea of what Scholarship Central kind of looks like in the background. So Scholarship Central is not its own organization, but we are a convener and a tool for scholarship providers. So three foundations came together to make Scholarship Central and have the majority of opportunities on our site. So the Scholarship Foundation of St. Louis, the St. Louis Community Foundation, and the Missouri Scholarship and Loan Foundation are those three foundations that make up the core of Scholarship Central. But then we also have opportunities from 45 different community organizations. So you may recognize a few of the symbols below. You might see MOACAC. We have the legislators, Journey to College, Wyman. We also have opportunities from a number of cultural groups, fraternities and sororities, alumni associations, a whole variety of groups run their scholarships through Scholarship Central. So we are a place to help people reach more students, find more quality applicants, and help students get that funding that they need to be able to go to the college that they want. So how Scholarship Central works is that students first create an account just with their name and email. They then complete a general application. So this general application is kind of like their profile. It's got their name, their contact information, demographics, their educational plans, and this information is shared to and seen by all the different scholarships that they apply to. So they don't have to re-enter this information at any point, and they want to make sure that that information is accurate and professional looking because it's going to be seen by everyone. Then, based on those general application answers, a whole list of recommended scholarships is generated. So on the back end of Scholarship Central, for each scholarship, we set specific qualifications. And so based on those qualifications, students then see scholarships that they may qualify for. So a high school student is not going to see scholarships that are only for college students. We try to narrow that list of 130 down so it's more manageable for students. Students then apply to specific scholarship opportunities. So just completing the general application does not apply you to any scholarships or qualify you for any funding. So students need to make sure that they are applying for specific opportunities. And on those specific scholarship opportunities, that's where students will write their essay, provide additional information about activities, letters of recommendation, anything that that scholarship provider is looking for. And then most helpful for students, everything is virtual. So students can upload transcripts, resumes, student aid reports, award letters, all of that straight up into the system. And then we also do all of our letters of recommendation virtually as well. So students send an email to the person writing their letter, and then that person can log in and complete the form within our system. So far this year, we've had over 8,000 users. We are getting very close to 9,000 users when I checked today. And we got over 157 different opportunities. So you can see most of those were initial applications, but about a quarter of the scholarships on the site are renewable. So students can complete those renewal applications on the site as well. And then we also offered an emergency grant application through one of the foundations due to the pandemic. And these award numbers are from a few weeks ago when I put this together, but we had over 1,700 awards made and 5.4 million in scholarships and interest-free student loans awarded. So this year we're on track for well over 2,000 awards and well over $8 million awarded to students. The timeline for students, the general application opens in September. So if you have students who are eager this summer to start their application, please tell them to wait until September because they'll lose their work. We have to close the system down in August for about a week to reset everything for the next cycle. So in September, the new general application will open, so students can start applying then, but they won't see too many scholarship opportunities actually open until January. We do have a few that are open starting in the fall, but a lot of the scholarships open in January or later. The majority of deadlines are by April 15th. Now, this year, those were pushed because of the pandemic, but hopefully next year we will be back on track for that April timeline. So a really good time for students to be on the site is between January and April. That's when they're going to see the most opportunities and be able to apply for the most scholarships. Each scholarship sets their own timeline. So each scholarship decides this is when we open, this is when we close, and this is when we'll make our decisions and make our awards. So I don't have any control over that. So some students may hear within a week of the deadline. Sometimes it takes a month or two to do all of the reviews and select the students. Some tips for students as you're working with them in Scholarship Central. Students need to make sure that they answer that general application fully and accurately. Like I said earlier, that information goes to every scholarship they apply to and is used in all of the official checks, all of the official record keeping for the scholarships. And so it's really important that they do that so that they can make sure that they're qualifying for as many scholarships as possible and that their information is correct. Students should also make sure that they have their most up-to-date transcript within the system. So if a student does start an application in the fall, they'll want to log back in January when they have their fall semester grades added to their transcript. So they want to upload those in January when they have those so that schools can see their most recent grades. Students should also read the qualifications for any scholarship before they apply. Just because a scholarship is on their recommended list does not necessarily mean that they qualify. There's a good chance that they do, but there may be additional requirements that students need to meet to make sure that they qualify. I also recommend that students start their applications early and apply early. There are a few scholarships on the site that are first come, first served, where they award continuously and they may run out of funding before the deadline. And then there are others where it's just really important to make sure that your essay and your letters of recommendation are all done and submitted early or by the deadline, and you don't want students running into problems right at that deadline. I also recommend students apply to multiple scholarships. So students may be overwhelmed by the list or may think, I'm just going to apply to one or two. The students who tend to be awarded scholarships are students who apply to multiple scholarships and submit really quality applications. So it can be tedious and it can be time consuming, but helping students know that the more scholarships they apply to, the better chance they have of being awarded. Make sure that both students, and then if you're also using the system, you don't use Internet Explorer. Our site is not compatible with Internet Explorer and you'll lose your work and you won't be able to submit anything. I also recommend that students write their essays outside of Scholarship Central. We don't have an autosave feature in our software. So if a student gets logged out or it times out, they could lose their whole essay, which is very frustrating. So have students write their essays in Google Docs or in Word and then copy and paste it over into Scholarship Central. And then finally, as is important for everything in the college application process, make sure students are checking their email and then the Scholarship Central site for updates. Once students create their account, they'll get emails each week that new scholarships are open that they may qualify for. So they'll get that list on Fridays if anything new has opened. So that's important for them to check those. And then once they've started applying, they can log in and check their My Applications tab and see, okay, this scholarship has been submitted, this one is drafted, this one's under review, offered, denied. They can kind of see the status of all their different scholarships. So the ways that we can work together, I love working with counselors and college access programs and meeting with students. So I'm always happy to provide marketing or informational materials, flyers, cards, anything that would be helpful for you to get the word out about Scholarship Central, I can provide that. I'm also happy to do presentations and college fairs. I don't know what that will look like this year, but I'm hoping to be able to do some in person visits with students and schools, even if it's not until the spring. But I am happy to do a virtual presentation. I'm going to put some videos together that I could send that you could use for a back to school night, or I could come in on a video conference as well. I'm based in St. Louis, but I can do some travel to make visits to other schools. I also send a counselor email update out about 1 to 2 times a month during the school year that has information about new scholarships, deadlines approaching, any updates about the system. So if you'd like to be on that list, my contact information is at the end of this presentation. So just email me and I can add you to that list. Our social media is also on that next slide, and that's where I post updates about deadlines, new scholarships, opportunities, extensions, any changes to scholarships. So that's a great place to learn more about Scholarship Central as well. And finally, one place that I look to you as counselors and people who work directly with students is if you work with organizations or you know of any scholarships that you think could be a good fit on Scholarship Central, I am happy to connect with them and to learn more about their scholarship to see if we could bring them on to Scholarship Central. For the community providers, being on Scholarship Central is free, and I would help them coordinate their scholarship through the site and hopefully reach more high quality candidates. Here is all of my contact information. Like I said, I'm based in St. Louis and I'm working from home for the foreseeable future, but I am contactable through email or through phone. Happy to have a conversation and share more information or answer any questions. You can also see our social media, and then I'm slowly starting a YouTube page that has some tutorials and more information about Scholarship Central. But I look forward to working with you all, learning more about you, sharing about the Journey to College Scholarship that will be coming up again on the site, and good luck with this upcoming school year.